She spent 6 years feeling guilty about money she never touched, because her sister had forged her signature and stolen every single cent of it. And the moment she finally said something out loud, she was standing in a bridesmaid dress at her sister's wedding, in front of everyone, right after someone toasted her sister for being financially responsible. And I promise you, this story gets so much worse. Okay, so here's who we're working with. 2 sisters. An older one and a younger one. Their grandmother passes away and leaves behind $60,000. 30 for each of them. Split down the middle. Fair and square. Except nothing about what happened next was fair. And nothing about it was square. The younger sister, the one telling this story, never saw a single dollar of her share. Her parents told her she'd already spent it, that she'd asked for an early withdrawal to cover college costs. They even had a withdrawal slip with her signature on it. She was in her early 20s. She was grieving. She was confused. But the paper was right there. Her own name. Her own signature. So she believed them. She spent the next 6 years quietly ashamed of herself for blowing through $30,000. She had zero memory of ever touching. And then, 3 weeks before her sister's vineyard wedding, she found a folder. She's at her parents' house helping pack boxes for the wedding prep. Normal stuff. Moving stuff around, sorting through clutter, and tucked inside a box, just sitting there like it's nothing, is a folder. Bank statements, the original withdrawal slip, and a letter. A letter her sister had written to their grandmother about 2 months before the woman died. I'm sorry. What? In this letter, handwritten, signed, sent through the actual mail like it's the 1800s, and she has zero fear of consequences. The older sister asks their grandmother to set aside the younger sister's share of any future inheritance. Her argument? That her little sister was too immature to be trusted with money. And the grandmother, who loved and trusted her granddaughter, said okay, so the money gets set aside. And then the grandmother dies. And then someone walks into a bank and withdraws $30,000 using a signature that was not, I repeat, was not, written by the person whose name was on it. Her sister forged it. Her sister walked into a bank, signed her younger sister's name on a withdrawal slip, and took $30,000. And the parents? Either they knew, or they saw the signs and made a very deliberate choice to look the other way. Both options are bad, like, catastrophically bad. But okay, let's keep going, because you'd think discovering the literal crime is the worst part, right? It is not the worst part. Because here's where that money went. Her sister's apartment, her sister's lifestyle, and ultimately, this is the part that made my jaw actually drop. A $45,000 vineyard wedding. Her stolen inheritance. Funding her sister's fairy tale wedding. While she spent 6 years thinking she was the irresponsible one. The audacity of that is so staggering, I need a moment. Okay. So she finds all this. She confronts her sister privately. And what does the sister do? She cries. But not, like, remorseful crying. Not, oh my God, I'm so sorry I destroyed your life, crying. It's the other kind. The kind where the person who did something terrible makes themselves look like the victim so you end up comforting them. You know exactly the kind I'm talking about. She says her sister is dredging up old wounds. She says it's complicated. And this is the part that gives me secondhand rage. She says the wedding is only 3 weeks away. She begs her not to do anything that might cast a shadow over the day. She promises that after the wedding they'll sit down and sort everything out properly. And the narrator, who has just found out she's been gaslit for 6 years by her entire immediate family, agrees to wait. She agrees to wait. I understand it. I really do. She was in shock. She was overwhelmed. And part of her probably still wanted to believe her family wasn't as bad as the evidence was. telling her they were. But girl. So she shows up to the wedding. She puts on the bridesmaid dress her sister picked out for her. She stands in the sun at a vineyard. She watches her parents walk her sister, the woman who forged her name, stole her money, and let her spend 6 years drowning in fake guilt, down the aisle. She watches her cry beautiful, photogenic, convenient tears at the altar. She sits through dinner. She sits through music. She sits through the clinking of glasses and the first dance and all of it. And everything is fine. Until the groom's mother stands up to give a toast. The groom's mother is warm. Genuinely warm. She's talking about her new daughter-in-law and how wonderful she is. And then she says something. She says her son found himself a woman who is financially responsible. She says he's building something solid with someone trustworthy at the foundation. The room applauds. And something inside the narrator just snaps. She stands up. The room notices. She says she wants to add something to the toasts. Silence. She says she's genuinely happy for her sister. She says she hopes this marriage is built on honesty. Because the last significant thing her sister built, she funded with $30,000 stolen from their late grandmother's estate. Money left to the narrator. Taken with a forged signature. Covered up for years. With the help of their parents. Every sentence lands like a separate explosion. The room goes completely silent. The new husband turns and looks at his bride. His bride's face drains of all color. Their father stands up and tells the narrator to sit down. Their mother starts crying, and the narrator picks up her champagne glass, sets it down on the table, walks through the reception hall, crosses the parking lot, gets in her car, and drives home. That was the last time she saw any of them. The fallout? Exactly as chaotic as you'd expect. Her phone basically exploded. Family members coming in from every direction. Some calling her vindictive. Some calling her cruel. Some absolutely losing their minds that she chose a wedding to say all this. 2 relatives cut contact with her entirely. But here's where it gets interesting. Because not everyone turned on her. 3 of her aunts, women who actually grew up with the grandmother whose trust got completely obliterated here, had no idea any of this had happened. 0. Nobody told them. And when they found out, they were furious. Like, properly, righteously, family meeting level furious. And one of those aunts works in law. She quietly started helping the narrator understand exactly what her legal options look like. Because forging a signature on a bank withdrawal document isn't just a family disagreement. It's fraud. It's potentially criminal. And $30,000 is not a small number. As for the sister and her brand new husband, secondhand reports say they're working through things, which tells you everything you need to know about how that conversation went on the drive home from the vineyard. And the narrator? She said she came forward because everyone in her life was so completely divided she couldn't find any clarity anywhere. Half were calling her a hero. Half were calling her a monster. She said she didn't feel like either one. She said she felt like someone who had waited too long, held too much in, and finally broke, at the worst possible moment, in the most public possible way. And honestly, after 6 years of carrying guilt for something she never even did, I think she just ran out of room. So here's where you come in. Because I genuinely cannot call this one alone. She stayed silent for 6 years. She kept quiet through the whole wedding. She only spoke up when someone stood up and toasted her sister for being financially responsible. The woman who stole her inheritance and let her take the blame for it. Was she wrong for finally telling the truth? Drop your verdict in the comments right now. Hero, monster, or something in between. I want to hear every single take. And next up, a story that made our entire team sit in complete silence for a full minute after reading it. You do not want to miss it. Subscribe so you never miss a single drop of drama. Stories shared on this channel are inspired by real experiences posted online. All details have been anonymized and rewritten. Any resemblance to specific individuals is coincidental.